Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, here's the deal, okay? By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. That's what she's saying. Let's take a look at all of the evidence here, okay? Alright, this doesn't really help. The weather report says that it snowed from 7 o'clock to around 10:50. So, that if the murder happened after the snow ended, it would have had been after 10:50 p.m. Alright? That's what she's saying. Okay. Alright, died between 10 and 11 p.m. That makes sense. The autopsy report would be in line with what she's saying so far. Okay, so far. If what she's saying is true and the snow had ended, alright. Well, wait a minute. If the murder took place, okay, she gets the snowmobile, drives it down there, grabs the body, drives it back. That doesn't make sense. There should be two set of tracks because the body was already dead by the time that's it. That's it. This photo is the contradiction, I believe. I believe that photo is the contradiction. I do. Yeah, I think that the photo is the contradiction. Alright, let's save again. I think this is it. Okay. No? That didn't work. That's bullshit. It should. That is faulty. No, that's bullshit. It's because if everything she's saying is true, why would she have gone and gotten the snowmobile while it was still snowing, driven it down to where the body was? See what I mean? There was no body yet. She would have had nothing to prompt her to get the snowmobile while it was still snowing. Therefore, there should have been two sets of tracks. There's only one. So that's why it's bullshit, but they're saying that's not the correct information, and it's bullshit. It works. Logically, that evidence works. It's bullshit. Well, Sleepy Reader just resubbed for 4 months in a row, 7 months total, and said, I'd like to thank Mom and Dad for giving birth to me, AT&T for providing me internet, and DSP for endless content. May his will be unbending, and his salt mines endless. Thank you. And Tamanese Cheer said, Iris was inspirational, also for those, if you fuck with Phil, go green? Huh? I don't know what that meant, but thanks for the cheer anyway. I have some weird shit going on stream tonight. I don't really understand. I don't know. I don't know what this is. What the hell could it be? I am like super stumped. I don't know what I'm supposed to be presenting or what I'm supposed to do here. I'm super stumped. Try this again. She says it's all true. It's when the murder happened, the snow had already stopped. That's why the snowmobile tracks were so clear. See? I think I've trapped her this time. But it's because of the snowmobile tracks, which I presented they said was wrong. And the snow had really stopped by the time of the murder. I mean, there's a bigger hole in her story than the movie The Great Revelations. What is this? Bright-eyed cheers to shout out to my home frog. Give the best chill streams. Alright, thank you very much for the cheer. I appreciate that. What the fuck? Let's try this. Nope. Nope. I tried. This is so tricky. I can't figure it out, man. God damn it. Try this again. The snowmobile. Yes, I had the keys. The snowmobile. Alright, you know what? We asked about the tracks. Let's ask about the snowmobile. Maybe we'll get more information. Let me hear more about the snowmobile ride. Well, it was very cold that night, so I rode it all the way to the foot of the bridge. Objection! I'm sorry, witness, but now I've got a problem with your testimony. Excuse me? Godot, what are you up to now? That night, after the head nun left the remainder of the training to you, she said she walked from the inner temple back to Hazakura Temple. Yes, I'm fairly certain that's what the record indicates. Let's recall her comments on the subject. Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there by the main gate, the snowmobile, I mean. The snowmobile was in front of the main gate. This is one of those contradictions, wouldn't you say? Huh. Alright, I found it. I found the hole. Order, Mr. Godot. Why are you pointing out contradictions of the witness's testimony? Let's just say I like things to be neat and tidy, okay? Well, maybe. Sister Bikini missed it. Yes, maybe she didn't see it. You think she missed it? That doesn't sound right. Ha! Whatever. Even I don't think this is decisive enough to warrant any more time or effort. It's just, you better be careful in your testimony. That's all I wanted to say. A smart little cookie like you shouldn't have any trouble understanding that. Yes, sir. What was that all about? Why would Godot want me to give me a hint? Very well then, let's continue with the testimony. So you transported the body by snowmobile all the way to the Hazakura Temple courtyard? Yes, I thought that way Mystic Maya would never be suspected. That's what I thought anyway, and then I... So, it says there's the hole in the testimony is there. The blue dot is where the murder took place, supposedly. No, wait. The blue dot's the garden at the inner temple. What is the hell is the blue dot? I don't even know what that blue dot is. Oh! 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 I've got it! I just figured it out. Lightning struck Dusky Bridge at 10:45, but the snow didn't stop till 10:50. If the murder had happened at 10:50, there's no way she could have crossed Dusky Bridge afterward because the bridge was on fire. The bridge was on fire! Motherfucker! Huh! Here we go. Fuck you! You claim the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred, but I'm sorry, Iris, that just isn't possible. What? This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, the snow didn't stop until 10:50 p.m. But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at that time. Why do you say that? Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and it caught on fire. En fuego! En fuego! Excuse me. What did you say? The bridge, it was on fire? You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? It was because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down. What? But it can't be. It looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney. No! Order, order, order! Okay. The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right, the inner temple was already totally cut off from the outside world. There's no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body. Witness, even my patience has its limits. Any further lying and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself? The only person here that is truly contemptible is you. Old man! Me, how dare you? Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now. Squat? The important thing now is to find out the truth. Isn't that right? Yes, of course, but whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not, there are two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elise Donim was discovered in the Haxakura Temple courtyard. And second, the head nun, Sister Bikini, witness Iris desecrating Elise Donim's body. He makes a good point on both accounts. That's right. I'm not lying. Where are you claiming this time? I wasn't myself at all that night. So my memory is still somewhat hazy. You have stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy? It is only human to err. If you're so perfect, try, maybe you could explain this for the court. What is it? When the murder happened, the bridge had already burnt down. But somehow, the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you have some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick? Well, not exactly, no. I know there must be some other way she got across that burnout bridge. But unless I can somehow demonstrate it, we'll never know the truth. It looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation. You see what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth. This is so convoluted, man. All right then, witness, let's hear your testimony once more. About what, Your Honor? You've admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony. Oh, yes, Your Honor. Will this be her final testimony? Alright, moving the body. Per se, I have done a full playthrough of Persona 5. It is available to watch over on DSPGaming right now on YouTube. I believe the entirety of the playthrough is there. If not, half of it's over on KO Gaming on YouTube because it was a big cluster mess where videos got claimed on one channel and screwed up on the other and blocked by Atlas, and it was a mess. The whole playthrough is live, though, on YouTube, okay? Okay. Alright. Let's continue, everybody. I got people in the stream chat calling me saying I look like a straight-up snack. This is one hell of a convoluted, you know. Alright. Let's continue. Moving the body.
Other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Was the snow still falling, or had it stopped? Does it really matter that much? Or are you saying that there's a way across a burning bridge?
So was it just a misunderstanding, I see.
This is a photo of Dusky Bridge after it burned down from the lightning blast. It was taken on the morning after the incident. It certainly was burned to a crisp, and one of the suspension wires even snapped. It's amazing the whole bridge didn't fall. Alright, this explains it. Now we've really got our explanation, alright? Here's what happened. The bridge was... Misty Faye was on the bridge. The bridge was on fire. Misty Faye didn't know what to do. She had to jump from the bridge. She grabbed the suspension rope, fell holding the rope, but as she reached the end of the rope, it either snapped or she let go, which caused her to hit the bottom of the ravine. That's why it was only a 10-foot drop. But the speed of the fall caused her bones to get damaged and break. Then someone got her from the bottom of that ravine and drove her all the way back up to the temple, and then Iris pretended like she stabbed her, the statue had stabbed her. So the whole thing that we saw with Butts' drawing was true. It was on fire. She left while holding the suspension rope. And this is why the suspension rope is hanging, because she held it on the way down, and it snapped, and now it's what caused her to fall, and that's why it's only a 10-foot fall, because it did stop her fall, but then later on she fell 10 feet, and that's what caused the damage to her body. Super Flash just cheers said, have you ever considered becoming a chill frog? You seem to have a natural chill frog instinct that could be put to use solving chill frog crimes. Plus, you could hunt down all your lost tadpoles and play cool cop, bad cop. Let's just continue.
Clearly, it would be impossible for to carry a corpse across the bridge in this condition.
Alright, we got the bridge photo added. Unless I do something to discredit this testimony, it's going to be deemed as the truth, and Maya will be accused of murder. Try? I'm only going to say it one more time. It is only human to err, and only humans can spot the errors of our ways. Hint, hint. The more sense he makes, the less sense he makes.
All right, Mr. Wright. Please begin your final cross-examination.
All right, here we go. So, other than walking over the bridge, there's no way to move the body, okay? Press it. Yes, but if the snow had already stopped when the incident took place,
I couldn't have crossed the bridge, naturally. But I think it's just like Mr. Godot said. The body did make it across somehow. So I must have just gotten confused, I guess. Oh, hold on. Press that.
Well, you seem to be quite sure of yourself when you gave your testimony. You said you were sure the snow had already stopped.
I'm terribly sorry. I was wrong.
Shout out to Frogs, Slogs, and Cogs, who just resell for 6 months. Thank you for 6 months of support to the Frogs, the Slogs, and the Cogs. Okay, what's going on? Does she really think an apology is going to get her off the hook? Okay. So, with the snow still falling and it stopped, does it really matter? This is no joke. You're giving sworn testimony in a court of law.
Well, Mr. Wright, let me ask you a question. Do you remember what the weather was like 1 week ago today?
Huh? Well, naturally, it was,
You see, it's not that easy to remember, is it?
But if it had been some kind of special day, I would have remembered. For example, it was pouring rain on the day of my elementary school graduation.
Objection!
No one wants to hear about your childhood traumas, right?
What?
Ha! By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped. If you insist on obsessing over that one statement, let's see the proof. Ha! Show some evidence that the body somehow crossed the bridge while it was on fire. Okay, save up. Okay. Are you saying there's a way to cross a burning bridge? Well, I don't see why there couldn't be a way across.
Mr. Wright, don't you think that sounds a bit silly? A dead body crossing a burning bridge? Did anyone actually witness such a thing?
Yup. Huh. If there was, I don't think you'd call someone like that a witness. Ha-ha! After all, a dream isn't the same as actually seeing something. I come all this way so we know exactly what to do now, ready? We know what to present. They just give us our big hint. Dictatorship treatise is evidence is so weak, time to aim, aim, aim. Okay, great. A meme reference. If you can believe it, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna go with Larry Butts' sketch showing the body flying over the burning bridge. We're actually gonna go with that as evidence saying there's another way to get the body across the bridge. Take that! A dead body flying over a burning bridge. I wouldn't exactly rule out the possibility. Whoa, what? Ha! You're saying it's possible? Don't make me laugh. The only thing that's possible about your claim is that it's been pulled out of thin air. I don't know about that. In any case, we have a witness who did see it happen. Oh, preposterous!
Who is it? Who is this witness?
I can't check it out here. I gotta keep on the attack and go, go, go! Mr. Elise Donim's brilliant and highly gifted apprentice, Laurice Donim.
Brilliant?
Highly gifted.
Apprentice?
Remember what he said in his testimony. That night, he was at the Mountain Shack Heavenly Hall. And that's when he witnessed the event. I think you've all seen his sketch before. It's an exact drawing of what he witnessed that night.
Are you serious? Today's not April Fool's Day, is it? Mr. Wright, are you seriously claiming that the victim flew through the air? And you're using this pathetic scribble to support your argument. Oh.
Uh-oh. The judge looks like he's about to blow a gasket. Frogs, Slogs, and Cogs just cheered and said, "Hands up! You're under arrest for receiving frog jobs to minors. It's time for you to come quietly." Ah! Ah! Not frog jobs! Not a frog job! What is going on? Like, the case isn't weird enough. Let's continue. Huh. Well, Trite, there's nowhere for you to hide now. Other than looking like it was drawn by a 6-year-old, does this sketch prove anything that's besides that you gave frog jobs to the entire jury? Oh! Did I say that out loud? Yes, I'm pretty sure it does, and I'm going to prove it. Listen, I know your tricks. You're trying to turn this whole thing upside down. If you're so eager to turn this case upside down, why not start with this sketch? Upside down? Why did Godot say that? Get it? Upside down? Because the photo's upside, it's upside down. He was looking upside down.
Alright then, let's hear the defense's theory. What exactly is this sketch trying to show?
I don't think the old Whisker Face is going to forgive any more mistakes. Alright, Phoenix, look carefully and think it over. I know exactly what it is. It's upside down. The sketch drawn by Maurice Renim is exactly what happened. Of course the victim was flying through the air. You can see it right here in the sketch. Whoosh.
You know, you're starting to remind me of yesterday's witness.
What? That was the last thing I wanted to hear.
You have any evidence the victim flew through the air?
Just so you know, we haven't discovered a giant human catapult at the inner temple yet. So that wasn't correct.
Even if you're a lousy lawyer, at least you're 1 cup's worth of entertainment. The thing we should skip the penalty this time. There must be some way I know it. There must be a way to use Larry's sketch to show the truth of what happened. Alright, return to the testimony. Alright, we gotta do it again. So we gotta do it again, and you gotta say something different.
It's frogs, logs, and cogs, not slogs. It's frogs, slogs, cogs, and bogs. Oh my god. Anyway. No, I fucked up. I wanted to present evidence here. God damn it. Do this again. Okay. Okay. Alright. It's a complete contradiction. Something's obviously funny about this sketch.
I'm no art critic, but even I can see that.
No, that's not what I mean, Your Honor. Lawrence Stoneman stated over and over that this sketch was exactly as he saw it. However, if we're to believe this testimony, then the sketch contradicts reality as we know it. It contradicts reality? Ha! This is getting interesting. Looks like you're back to that finger-pointing thing again. Okay, Trite, so what exactly contradicts reality as we know it?
The body flying, obviously.
Take that!
This flying figure naturally. After all, people haven't learned to fly yet, or did I miss something?
Mr. Wright, that answer just now, it was lethal.
Ha ha!
Mr. Wright, after dragging us all the way to this point, the answer was embarrassing. It was so embarrassing, I'm actually blushing.
Blushing only suits women, not the elderly. Rethink thing. I'm gonna point to something else. Alright. So, here we go. It's the supports. It's gonna be the supports. Yeah. It's the support, and the reason is the support's on the bottom of the bridge, not the top.
Take that!
Is this wire connected to the bridge? Yup.
The wire?
Ha! Is that the thing that contradicts reality?
It is indeed. Then show us the reality it supposedly conflicts with. Show us something that will point out how the sketch contradicts reality. It's the picture. See, the supports are on the bottom, not the top.
Take that!
That's a photo of Dusky Bridge, correct?
Yes, now compare the sketch and the photo for a minute. In the sketch, the wires appear to be above the guard wires. But in the actual Dusky Bridge,
Jumping Jehoshaphat.
the wires are below the guard wires. Duh. Well, James the Beastie cheered. He said, I love the exciting gameplay, so excited. This is not a game for everyone at all. If you like narratives, you like twists, you like turns, you like courtroom dramas, this is right up your alley. If you don't, there's 5 million other games that I play that you'll probably enjoy better. Please come back for one of those other sessions. Alright, let's continue. What? Rubble.
Order, order, order! This sketch is somewhat different than what's depicted in the photo. However, isn't it likely that the artist just saw it wrong?
Or perhaps he just drew it wrong. Either way, it sounds like you're just wrong.
With someone like Larice, I admit a mistake is a definite possibility. But then that begs the question. Why did he make a mistake? What was the reason? Are you saying you know the answer to that? Listen, think back, alright? Remember what Larice was doing when he witnessed this event. He was at Heavenly Hall waiting for a lover that was never going to come. He waited and waited, and finally he laid down. But then, lightning shoots from the sky and sets the bridge aflame. Now ponder what sort of position Larice must have been in at that time. He was lying on his back, which is why he remembered the scene the way he did.
He was lying on his back? I can't see how it relates.
But it does, Your Honor. That is the reason why the wires in the sketch go up instead of down. Oh! No way. Lori Stoneman witnessed the event while he was lying on his back, face up. In other words, the scene that he saw was actually upside down. Which we said immediately when I first saw the picture. I said that, dude. Alright, well, Frogs, Logs, and Cox says this game is frog shit. Yeah? Well, maybe you're full of frog shit. Maybe you should go take a frog shit and get the shit off the stream. Shit. Okay. Let's continue.
So then the sketch should actually...
I think you finally get it, Your Honor. The correct way to view Larice Stoneham's sketch is like this. This is how it should actually look. Rubble, rubble, rubble. Oh, frog shit. The victim's body wasn't flying above the bridge at all. It was actually swinging below. That's right. Just like a pendulum. Ridiculous.
Order in the court.
Of all the things to say, a pendulum. The bridge was burning to a crisp. There was no way to get across it. But if the body had been found at the inner temple, it would have caused problems. This is where the criminal decided to take a gamble. They used the burning bridge to get the body across to the other side. And a pendulum was the only way to get it done. Let's think about this for a minute, shall we? Dusky Bridge is about 20 yards long, which means it's about that far from the inner temple to the opposite cliff. Yes, that sounds right. In order to cover that distance with a pendulum, you need a rope at least 10 yards long. To get a rope that long, you'd have to plan ahead. The lightning strike that can only have been an accident. It doesn't make sense that the culprit would have prepared the rope beforehand. So then, they didn't have to get the rope ready. The rope was already right in front of them. What? I'm saying that it was just a matter of using what was already there. And shout out to Right Eye who gifted a sub to Egnar. Congratulations and thank you very much. Alright.
In that case, Mr. Wright, please give us an explanation to support your theory.
Let me save here.
What makes you think the criminal had the rope on hand to create a pendulum?
The picture. Yep.
And the meaning of this is?
If you want to know where the rope came from, it's hanging right there in front of your glorious beard.
Oh! This is one of the wires from the bridge.
When the lightning struck the bridge and set it on fire, one of the suspension wires came loose from its anchor. The criminal didn't have any time to waste, so they tied the wire around Elise Stoneham's body. Damn! Because there was simply no other way to move the body. Ha! Glug, 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 glug,
Mr. Godot? It seems that Mr. Godot is more focused on his coffee than answering my question. It seems that the odds of the rope being readily available were very high. So I suppose it's not an impossibility after all.
Objection!
Possible or impossible? That's not the question we need to ask. There's only one question. Did that really happen? Trite, I wonder if you can prove what happened to us. Do you have any actual evidence that the body was swung over like a pendulum? Horrible sketch. Oh. Do we have any evidence of this? Wouldn't be this. Angry Crow took me $1. So I know this is a little late. I wanted to know what you think about Microsoft buying Double Fine Productions and making them part of Microsoft Game Studios. I heard you agree with Tim Schafer over something he did. Is this true? If you want my full explanation of the Angry Crow, go to my E3 coverage from a couple weeks ago. And I talk about it both in the Microsoft press conference recap reactions as well as in the final E3 best and worst recap video. I go into massive detail about it in both. I'd say probably the final video is the better one because I actually have it as listed as one of the worst things of E3 this year. And that's where you'll get your explanation. Sorry, I'm not going to go into massive detail about it tonight, okay? Not the photo. Let's eliminate. It's not the photo. It can't be this. Has nothing to do with it. This has nothing to do with it. This has nothing to do with it. This was found in the garden of the inner temple. That can't have anything to do with it. Oh! Found on an outcropping near Dusky Bridge. In fact, you know what? That's what that blue dot is. That's where the orb was found. It's the orb. The orb was found to the outcropping of the Dusky Bridge, so the orb is the evidence. There's your answer. Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. I'm not reading anything from this tip, because this person was trying to do a nasty tip that was, like, disgusting, and didn't finish typing because they're stupid. So basically, they sent me a $1 troll tip, and I appreciate the $1 tip, but I'm not reading it, and then he didn't finish it anyway, so there you go. Before I present my evidence, let me review what we know so far. According to this photo, one of the wires snapped. Looking at the map, we can see it's the one that was in the front of the inner temple.
So then, that was the spot with the criminal?
Yes, precisely. Now let us consider the body's movements by looking at the overhead map again. If the body was pushed from this point right here, it would drop on the opposite bank at approximately this point.
Did you say drop?
Well, they must have failed to catch the body on the other bank.
What? What makes you think something like that happened?
Because I have evidence to suggest her body dropped some distance.
What kind of evidence?
Take a look at this autopsy report. It says here that her body fell about 10 feet after her death.
10 feet, huh?
That's most likely the height difference between the two sides. The body overswung due to forward momentum, but then came loose and fell about 10 feet. And then, as a result of the landing impact, this crystal sphere was knocked loose.
Oh, that's...
Yes, that's bloodstained amethyst crystal. It's the one that came off Miss Elise Donim's stack. And, even more important, is the place where this crystal sphere was found.
Indeed, I believe it's already marked on this overhead map. The crystal was found...
Oh! Precisely, Your Honor. In the very spot where the pendulum would arrive if given the right amount of speed. Robble, robble, friggin' robble.
This explains your theory quite well, Mr. Wright. You have provided us with the way the body could have been moved that night. An impressive deduction, Mr. Wright. Most impressive. Mr. Wright?
I thought this cold coffee might help cool you down.
Well, what is the meaning of this, Mr. Godot?
Ah, fresh cup. A nice fresh brew. I love it. That was a dark and bitter guess that you made, Trite. But you forgot about one thing.
Oh, and what would that be?
The aroma. What? A coffee's most reliable accomplice is its deep and profound aroma.
The rest of the court doesn't speak Coffinese. Can you elaborate at least a little bit more?
If the criminal had sent the body to the other side like you said, ha! Then naturally there must have been an accomplice lying in wait to catch it.
An accomplice?
The criminal wasn't able to cross Dusky Bridge. So, who collected the body? What do you have to say about that, right?
Mr. Godot is correct. This can be the work of a single person. Well, Mr. Wright, you know what you must do.
Yes, Your Honor. The body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple without an accomplice. So before I do anything, let me save the game. Since I have to guess who that accomplice is, alright? And I'm also going to give a shout out to someone who's doing an anonymous $30 tip. Thank you very much. A ginormously generous tip tonight. Thank you very much. In fact, you actually, this anonymous tip is bigger than any tip I received all day today, even on my first stream. So thank you very much to this anonymous $30 tipper. First, let's get you up on the leaderboard, and then I'm going to read this message that they said before we continue here. Thank you very much for this, whoever this is. Okay. So, the anonymous $30 tipper says the following. Frog jobs, frog jobs. No, I'm kidding. They didn't say that. Alright. They really say, love your voices in these playthroughs, dude. I hope you don't wait years for the next game of the series. Maybe during the downtime it seems like we'll have. Maybe in December or early 2020. Right before all those big releases in the spring. Thanks for playing. I'll be honest, when I'm done with this game, I need a serious break. And I'm going to also be honest. People have asked me for Danganronpa 3 as my next visual novel for quite some time. I'm not saying I'm doing it anytime soon whatsoever. Alright, but just being honest, I don't really want to do a big visual novel with a lot of reading for a while. I need to relax my voice. This is very taxing. I've been doing this for 2 months on and off. I want to have a couple of months here. We do normal playthroughs. We're kind of back to the old school normal stuff. And then maybe we'll do another visual novel within the next year or so. It's not something that I could go crazy doing all the time. I can't, man. I seriously can't. Speaking of the future games in the Phoenix Wright series, I don't even know what they are. Like, I don't know what the next game is. I think this is the end of the original trilogy, correct? So I think aren't there a few that star Miles Edgeworth, and isn't there a new guy called like Apollo Justice or something? Who's like the new character? Like, I don't know. I honestly don't know what happens to the series after this game. I know it gets like convoluted and it splits or whatever. So I guess what I would have to do is rely on you guys to kind of tell me what's next, what's the logical next game in this series. But there's no way, guys. No way I'm doing it soon. I may consider doing it, in the future, but there's no way I'm doing it anytime soon. I gotta take a break from it after all this. Alright. Alright. Freddy be killing it. Did 100-bit cheers. I missed your last stream. I'm about to watch it right now. Is there any interesting thing I should check out? I'm gonna watch most of it regardless. Freddy, I don't know what you're talking about. When you say my last stream, do you mean Final Fantasy IX? Or do you mean the Phoenix Wright stream? You gotta clarify and then I can answer that. Matt also tipped me $2. Thank you, Matt, for the $2 tip. Very nice. Oh, okay, people are saying Apollo Justice is the next trilogy after this, so the next Apollo Justice game would be the next logical one. Okay, Freddy be killing is Final Fantasy IX. A lot happened in Final Fantasy IX. I don't want to spoil. Let me just say, like, just some new characters, new locations, big plot twists. A lot happened in Final Fantasy IX earlier today, so we should check it out. All right. Let's go ahead. Let's continue. We save again. Alright. So, the body couldn't have made it to Hazakura Temple without an accomplice.
Very well then, if you please, Mr. Wright. Who was the person that received the body on the Hazakura Temple side?
Well, it could have been Pearl. We gotta think about who was missing, who was involved, and who was missing. It could have been Pearl. It could have been Maya. I mean, it could have been Bikini, right? But then again, see, here's the thing. We don't want to say her, because if we say that, then we have to explain the whole channeling thing. And we already said we don't want to get the channeling thing involved, because the judge won't believe it and basically will throw everything out. So we can't say the sister. The sister would not be correct based logically on what everyone has already said, okay? So you can say it was Iris. Iris caught the body, but then who threw the body? So I'm gonna say it's either Iris, Maya, or Pearl. Those are the only three, I think. I don't think... Man, this is tough. Alright, I saved. Let's say Iris first. If not, we could try Butts. If not, we could try one of these. But let's try Iris first.
Take that!
It can only be you, Sister Iris. Huh? I guess it worked.
But I
don't see why you're so surprised. The only way to transport the body from Dusky Bridge is by snowmobile. But with her bad back, Sister Bikini could never pick up a body like that. You're the only one that could have managed it.
Objection.
Right. Were you even listening to the witness's testimony? On the night of the crime, this little cutie pie was on cleanup duty in the inner temple garden after the mother-daughter bloodbath.
Objection!
I haven't forgotten, but have you, Mr. Godot? This witness was also seen at Hazakura Temple, desecrating the corpse of the victim.
Strange indeed. It's almost as if, on that night, the defendant was in two different places at the same time.
Sister Iris, let me ask you something. Why didn't you mention it when you first gave your testimony?
mention what?
The pendulum, of course. Using this sketch drawn by an eyewitness, I've established how the body was moved using the burnout bridge, which means it's now a fact that this occurred, something you should have already known.
No, I had no idea. I didn't know anything about a pendulum.
But the body couldn't have been passed along to the other side without your help, so you should have known about it. In fact, it'd be impossible for you to be clueless about this whole thing unless you're not really Iris to begin with.
What? How can you say that, Mr. Wright?
What? What kind of nonsense is this?
You're
saying this witness isn't Iris of Hazakura Temple?
Objection.
Are you serious, Trey?
You mean this woman is... Oh my god! There's no one besides Iris that could have received the corpse that night. Now I get it. Now I know why I've been sick to my stomach this whole trial. Why her whole demeanor changed so suddenly from yesterday. And why she's trying to pin this murder on Maya. The woman that's standing here at the witness stand, her real name is... Dahlia Hawthorne! I never thought I'd have to utter your name again, let alone see you. It's been a long time, Dahlia Hawthorne. Hawthorne? Sister Iris had a twin sister. And you're looking at her, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne.
That name rings some bells. Distant bells, but bells nonetheless.
Ha! It's just your imagination, Gramps. This file contains all the relevant data about Dahlia Hawthorne.
Oh yes, I remember now. That case 5 years ago.
My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I just want to say, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence.
The honor's all mine.
No, the honor's all mine. But, according to this, Dahlia Hawthorne is already dead. It says her execution was carried out last month.
So what? Huh? Death has no meaning in this courtroom.
What? Order!
Wait a moment. How can you... My sister, she's already dead. What kind of...
You of all people should already understand. After all, the blood of the master of Kurain channeling technique flows within that body.
The Kurain channeling technique? Now where have I heard that?
That's right, you're not Dahlia Hawthorne herself. You're the spirit of Dahlia, currently inhabiting the body of a spirit medium. What in the holy fuck? What an exciting story. Exciting, but quite impossible. You're asking us to buy that Dahlia Hawthorne just happened to be channeled by someone on the very night of the murder to a temple where her twin sister Iris was? Well, if you're going to put things that way, then yes. No. We're supposed to believe a coincidence like that just happened? Naturally, it was no coincidence. The whole thing was part of a plan from the very beginning. It's all written right here in these instructions.
Ah, what's that?
These instructions were written by your mother, Morgan Fay. And part of the plan called for Dahlia Hawthorne to be channeled. That night, there were 2 irises at Hazakura Temple.
Two of them?
Even the time of the channeling was planned out. As soon as you hear the lights out bell, in other words, 10 p.m. However, Iris was seen before dinner time.
Well, that means that Iris was at dinner at the Iris that was at dinner was the real Iris.
And the Iris who gave me this foot in the main hall also was the real Iris. Meaning that the Iris Sister Bikini saw at the inner temple was someone else dressed as her, namely one Dahlia Hawthorne.
Objection.
Do you even know what you're saying, Trey? This whole channeling the spirit of Dahlia Hawthorne business. Oops. Yes, it's true that you found plans that talk about it. However, there's one thing that's perfectly clear. The witness currently standing in the witness stand is the real Iris. What? Calm down and remember what you know about the night of the crime. After meeting Sister Bikini, the Dahlia Hawthorne that had been channeled would have been stranded at the inner temple due to the lightning strike. It was later that the body was moved by the pendulum. That's right. Naturally, that would mean that the Iris that received the body was the real Iris. Are you with me so far? Yes. After being notified of what happened, the police came to Hazakura Temple's main hall. There, they found Iris in her room and arrested her. And ever since, she's been under police supervision at the detention center. Yes, I suppose. Actually, it's not true. She escaped at one point, remember? I can't deny any of that. Alright, Nihilistic Goldfish just gifted a sub to Mirai Masaki. Congrats, Mirai Masaki, and thank you, Nihilistic Goldfish, for the support.
Whoa, thank goodness. It looks as if he's finally convinced.
But something still seems off. Way off. I'm still not convinced this Iris here is the same one from the other night. Huh? I suppose you're about to say something really ridiculous? Like the real Iris and the spirit of Dahlia somehow switched places?
Switch places?
Haha.
To be perfectly honest, there are still quite a few things I don't understand, but I do know that unless we confirm the witness's identity, we can't continue with this trial.
Iris doesn't have the spiritual power needed to channel Dahlia, which means they must have switched places somewhere.
Well, Mr. Wright, since the time she was arrested at Hazakura Temple, have there been any chances for Iris to switch places with Dahlia Hawthorne?
Yes, when she escaped, remember? Your Honor, I think there might have been one chance.
Oh, explain yourself.
Yesterday, for a few minutes, Iris's whereabouts were unknown. Unknown? What do you mean? What I mean is, there was a span of time in which Iris was able to move about freely, unsupervised.
Well, who was it? Who would give a murder suspect time to move about freely like that?
I'm sorry, I know you didn't mean to. It wasn't your fault. The person who gave Iris the chance was none other than Mr. Miles Edgeworth.
This is Mr. Edgeworth, isn't it?
Your Honor, there was a fairly large earthquake yesterday, was there not?
An earthquake?
Earthquake! Whoa! Oh my goodness, the inner temple. This kind of trauma might. Whoa! Whoa! How could I have? She fled. She escaped. We went to the inner temple right away. And it's true, Iris was already there. However, they had already switched places by that point in time. When I arrived at the training hall, I was met by none other than Dahlia Hawthorne.
That's quite enough already, Mr. Wright. Now, see here. No judge in his right mind.
Be quiet. Ah!
It's been a long time, Mr. Judge.
That voice.
Guess I'll have to ask again. Huh. Upon meeting a beautiful lady, always ask for her name and profession. That's one of my rules. Dahlia Hawthorne. And my current profession? Permanently retired. Ha! So you're not going to bother hiding your identity anymore, huh? Why should I? After all, I'm dead. There's really nothing you can do to punish me.
What is going on here?
Dahlia Hawthorne. I never thought we'd meet again, and I never thought we'd meet like this. But this time, I'll end it. For her and for myself. Wow, what a segment of the case, everybody. Shout out to Frogs, Logs, and Cogs who cheered and said, are you ever going to play Frog Fighter 2 Super Frogga again? The frogs back at the pond really like that game. If you mean Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, I would love to play it again, except no one really plays it. Like, the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection came out in May 2018. It was all but dead by the end of the summer. I have gone back every once in a while and attempted to play it with hit or miss results. Sometimes I can actually find people. Sometimes I can't. Sometimes I find people, but the only connections around are really bad. Sometimes I can only find like one person and only play them. It sucks. I really love that game. As you guys know, it's my favorite fighting game of all time. It's the one that I'm the best at. Of any fighting game, I'm really good at Super Turbo. You know, I've won tournaments in it and the like. But it just blows that I really don't get the opportunity to play it as much as I would like, because that version that I thought would be a great version ended up just kind of burning, fizzling, and dying. And the only other version is the stupid one on Fightcade on PC, which sadly is not a good version. It runs at the wrong speed, and everyone uses macros and shit to abuse it and cheat. So there's really no fucking point in playing that one. So there's really no version of Super Turbo that I can actually play right now. I mean, maybe I would consider going back and doing that version on, you know, the Anniversary Collection every once in a while, but there hasn't really been much opportunity for me to do it either recently. So I guess we'll see. Maybe during the summer I'll go back to it for a little bit. We'll see. All right, that is it for this session. Holy shit. That was some big twists, big revelations. I think finally we figured out most of the evidence now that's come into play has been used. So really all we need to do is get to the bottom of what was Dahlia's involvement versus Iris's involvement, and, you know, what really happened with the murder. And I think this case is over. Can we finish it in one more session? I'm going to say probably not. I'm guessing there's 2 more 2-hour segments. As you see, these segments go for about 2 hours on purpose. They purposely designed the game to be about 2-hour segments, digestible segments, before save points. So I'm thinking we're probably going to have probably 2 more sessions. We'll find out Wednesday night, because ultimately Wednesday night is the big final stream this week that I'm doing of it. If I can finish it Wednesday night, shit, I'll do it, right? But if not, then there'll probably be 2 more sessions. All right, but maybe we'll have the big culmination Wednesday night. That would be pretty good. 1 more 2-hour session. But anyway, thanks everyone for a great night stream of this. Thanks to everyone watching this on demand on YouTube. Thanks to everyone who contributed. pretty awesome. I'm excited for the conclusion. I guess we'll find out next time. Very nice. My mouse isn't working. I can't stop recording. My mouse won't work. So let me... Okay. All right.